and look who's here. He just can't stay away on a day like this.
Can't stay away.
This man is an international best-selling author. If you've forgotten his name, it's Mark Steyn.
Actually, I'm like Amazon, Stuart. I can stay away, but I'm happy to be here. That's actually spectacular. You know, the thing is, I was listening to what you said there. This is a Hollywood movie. As the left sees it. A 29-year-old former waitress just took out the richest guy in the world. And so if this were a movie, she would be the good guy and he would be the bad guy. And the big social media cartel, your Facebooks, your Googles, your Amazons, have had a good run being the basically monopoly providers to the planet and yet presenting themselves as leftist heroes. Because Bezos says, oh, look, I've got a transgender bathroom and I'm worried about climate change and all the rest of it. And yet AOC has just turned it turned him into a conventional corporate villain.
Look, I've just got a warning that any moment now, in a couple of minutes, the President will emerge and approach the podium and start his address. I want you to stay there, if you would, Mark. But I also want your comment on a national emergency. It looks like he's going to declare it, your comment before he declares it.
Yeah, I want him to come out like the Trump I saw a few weeks after he announced his candidacy, the Trump I saw live on stage just before the New Hampshire primary. I want him to emphasize that this is the central plank of his administration and that he has been under siege from not just from a deep state coup, but from a Washington establishment that wants to destroy every aspect of this. The Democrats have gone full open borders. It's about potential sponsors of unaccompanied minors. You might be thinking about potentially sponsoring an unaccompanied minor, me maybe, in 47 years' time, and you're covered by this amnesty. And that cannot, he's got to actually push back on this stuff seriously.
So you think he's going to take... Well, a declaration of a national emergency is a hard line.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're preventing him actually defending the national frontiers of this country. They didn't do it to Obama when he wrecked all the US-Canadian borders, where they had little one-room border posts, and he bought up farms that straddled the border, and he dropped the Starship Enterprise and widened 2-lane blacktop to 8-lane blacktop for border crossings that get 2 cars an hour in rural Vermont and Quebec. And nobody said to him, you can't do this. It was just in the stimulus. They're trying to prevent... Well, no.
Obama did that?
Yes, they did. North Troy, Vermont. Have you anyone here from North Troy, Vermont? Are you from North Troy?
No.
Nobody's from North Troy, Vermont. But you look at that thing and you'd think it was the palace of the most powerful emperor on Earth. You can go to Google Earth, and you know when you tried to look at your own house on Google Earth, you had to go closer in, closer in, closer in, closer in. This thing you can actually see from the moon. It's like... They did eight lanes for a border post that gets 2 cars an hour. That's 1 lane per car and 6 for the Department of Homeland Security to go bowling in. And nobody told him he couldn't do it.
That's extraordinary.
That's remarkable.
I didn't know anything about that at all. No wonder you're a favoured guest.
No. North Troy and... do you know Mansonville, Quebec, Susan?
I've heard of the province.
She pretends to be Canadian, Stuart.
Pure pretence, that's all it is. Okay.